Hi all, welcome to BIIS Academy, Science and Technology audio notes for prelims and mains. Let's start with Unit 1, Part 4. The syllabus which we are going to cover is Concerns and Challenges in Proliferation and Use of Science and Technology, Role of Science and Technology in Nation Building. The topics which we're going to cover are Challenges in Proliferation of Science and Technology in India, Role of Human Resource Development in Science and Technology, Strategies adopted for development, transfer, and diffusion of technology. Need of science and technology in national building. Contribution of science and technology in national development. Programs implemented by Government of India that use science and technology for socio-economic development of the country. So now let's look at what are the challenges in the proliferation and use of science and technology in India. India is not only able to achieve new strides in science and technology as it should be, along with fast economic growth. There was a lag because, due to the slow pace of innovation, the funding for research and development activities were very low. India is spending just 1.5% of the total world spending on research and development. The share of India in international scientific publications is just 2%. The greatest challenge before India is the rational and judicious use of best human resources available. Even though the number of graduates is increasing in the country, but most of them are not interested in pursuing research as their career. Lack of inculcation of scientific abilities at the level of primary education is considered as a major reason why Indians are not interested in research activities. Lack of enough scientific temper among majority of the Indians, particularly among the young, is a big concern for the growth and proliferation of science and technology in India. Further, the brain drain is continuing, leading to a crunch in the qualified human resources. India is showing aversion to high-risk innovation that can increase the pace of problem solving. Government of India is just spending 1% of GDP on scientific research, which needs to be improved to 3% at least in the coming next 10 years. There is a need to give push to Made in India in addition to Make in India to develop Indian products with international competitiveness. There is a need for rapid changes in the way scientific education is provided in India. There is a need for continuous update on scientific development among students, teachers, and lecturers. And apart from this, there are many other challenges which India is facing. So if you think if there's any important mention, you can mention in the comments below. So let's recap what are the challenges. Primarily, the funding is very less because it's just spending 1.5% of the total spending of the world's spending. Scientific publications is just 2% in the world from India. Lack of scientific temper in our people, in the young minds. And the brain drain is a bigger challenge for India, where most of the people fly to Western world for research opportunities. India is spending only 1% of its GDP on scientific research, which needs to be improved to 3%. They need to give a push on Made in India and Make in India policies, schemes especially. The way of teaching should be scientific, which has to change as per the day's need. So let's go to the next topic. The role of human resource development in the development of science and technology in the country. The number of scientists and technologists, even though present in higher numbers in absolute terms, but are not found in accordance with the requirements in quality when measured on per capita basis. The demand is bound to increase in coming years with more intensive activities involving science and technology. There is a need to progressively increase the rate of generation of high quality skilled human resources at all levels. This process would naturally entail reversing the present flow of talent away from science by initiating new and innovative schemes to attract nurturing talent who have an aptitude for research, and government should provide career opportunities in academia, industry, other sectors as well. It has to encourage quality and productivity in science and technology. Mobility of scientists and technologists between industry, academic institutions, and research laboratories will be required. Science and technology departments and concerned agencies should make available substantial funding from allocation to build up the human resources base in all relevant areas. Flexible mechanisms that enable researchers to change fields and bring new inputs into traditional disciplines and to develop interdisciplinary areas which will be given priority in academic and research institutions. There need to be emphasis on continuous training, retraining, and reskilling to keep the pace with rapid advances taking place. Wherever considered necessary, training abroad will be resorted. Women should be provided significant greater opportunities in higher education, skills, research and development as a career. New mechanisms should be instituted to facilitate the return of scientists and technologists of Indian origin to India. Schemes for continuing education, training of university and college teachers in contemporary research institutions and in emerging area of sciences will be strengthened and new innovative programs will be started. So let's recap. The role of human resource development in the science and technology in country. Even though we have scientists in absolute numbers, but they do not match the requirement. That is one. The rate of generation of high quality skilled human resources has to be increased. It has to be progressively increased. New and innovative schemes to attract nurturing talent with aptitude should be given priority by the government. Continuous training, retraining, reskilling should be provided. Women should be given importance in R&D and research. They should be provided skills. There should be a mechanism to bring back our own Indian origin scientists, everybody back to India to work on our country's problems. And then parallelly, we have to train our university and college teachers in contemporary research techniques or in the emerging areas of science. Good. So let's go to the next topic. What are the strategies to be adopted for the development of transfer and diffusion of technology in our country? Strong base of science and engineering research provides crucial foundation for a vibrant program of technology development. Priority should be placed on development of technologies which address basic needs of population or Indian industries. The country should be made globally competitive and economically strong and also address the security concerns of the nation. Hence, special emphasis should be on equity in development, shows that the benefits of technological growth reach the majority of the population, the disadvantaged sections, leading to the improved quality of life for every citizen of India. These aspects require technological foresight, which involves not only forecasting and assessing of technologies but also the social, economic, environmental consequences. The growth rate in productivity of Indian economy has been below its true potential and the contribution to its technological factors is very inadequate. Similarly, Indian exports today derive the competitive advantage through resource and labor rather than through the power of technological innovation. Transformation of new ideas into commercial and vital importance to the nation's ability to achieve economic growth and global competitiveness. Accordingly, special emphasis was to be given not only to R&D and the technological factors of innovation, but also other equally important social, institutional, and market factors need for adoption, diffusion, and transfer of innovation to productive sectors. Intensive efforts were launched to develop innovative technologies of a breakthrough nature and to increase our share of high-tech products. Aggressive international benchmarking was carried out. Simultaneously, efforts were made to strengthen traditional industries so as to meet the new requirements of competition through the use of appropriate scientific technology. Let's recap. What were the strategies to be adopted for transfer diffusion of technology? Here you can write the earlier two topics as well, plus add some of points. Diffusion of technology has to be happen through focusing on innovative technologies, the R&D, market factors, institutional factors. And make sure these technological advances reach to every sector of the society. Intensive efforts have to be launched to develop innovative technologies. Our share of high-tech products has to be increased. Aggressive national, international branding or benchmarking has to be carried out. Traditional industries are not to be ignored, they have to be encouraged. Good. Next, go to the next topic, role and scope of science and technology in national building. So, what is the need of science and technology in national building? Science and technology are two major forces that play a vital role in civilization history of humankind. This is also said by Jawaharlal Nehru. They still have a tremendous impact on today's society and on contemporary world. The progress made in the field of science and technology helped man in various ways, but at the same time also resulted in great destruction. Like we have seen the atom bombs which have been dropped on Japan, Chernobyl disaster. There are many other man-made disasters. The recent Vizag gas leak. Okay, let's come back. The developed countries were able to develop at a faster rate than the rest of the world, mainly due to the progress in the fields of science and technology. Hence, science and technology are the two fundamental pillars for achieving the socio-economic development of the country. The benefits of science and technology, if not extended to the remote parts of the country, as well as all strata of the society, will be responsible for creating technological divide in a country. The technology the developed world achieved cannot be observed in the developing countries like India, because that cannot be observed. Immediately after independence, many visionaries like Jawaharlal Nehru, Swaminathan, Homi Jahangir Bhabha, Vikram Sarabhai, Kalam, and many others laid foundation for scientific progress of the country. Such foundation helped us to achieve great progress in various fields of technology like space, atomic energy, defense, green revolution, engineering, biotechnology, vaccines, white revolution, blue revolution. But even today, there are a number of challenges that the country is facing and requires immediate attention. Innovation in various fields of science and technology unknown can help overcome the challenges. Almost 19 states in India are suffering from fluorosis. There is a need for development of small household size and affordable defluoridation units. Similarly, India is still facing a big burden of many diseases like malaria, TB, Kala Azar, HIV, diarrhea, dysentery. Various types of drug-resistant pathogens are posing a great challenge for the health security of the country. The new innovations in health science should be able to help us achieve complete health security. The Global Nutrition Report 2018 and the Global Hunger Index 2019 positions India 1 or 2 out of 117 countries. Show a grave picture of Indian nutrition. Almost 59% of women are highly anemic, and severe stunting is observed in growing children in many parts of the country. Hence, there is a need for improving the nutrient quality of staple diets like rice, wheat, as well as meat. High quality human resources can be available only when India acts for achieving both health and nutritional security. There is also a need for imparting quality education at primary school level using multimedia and animation. This also can help us attracting young talent towards scientific research. Sensitization of school children and thus students at the universities and colleges on diversified problems that India is facing will help them to realize how they should contribute to the development of Indian science and technology. Science and technology are very essential factors not only for economic progress but also at the same time for overcoming many challenges like poverty, unemployment, drought, climate change impacts, remoteness, superstitions, pollution, degradation of water quality, water unavailability, pandemics, etc. Let's recap the need for science and technology in national building. As you know, every civilization history is dependent on science and technology. There are both positives and negatives. It is beneficial and harmful. We have seen the Western world achieve it through science and technology, efficient utilization of science and technology. In India, the great visionaries like Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, Swaminathan, Homi Bhabha, Vikram Sarabhai, Kalam, and others laid a strong foundation for the country. There are many problems in India apart from the technological problems. There are socio-economic problems which need to be addressed even till to this date. Almost 90 states have severe fluorosis. There is a huge need to set up defluoridation units in every home. Similarly, we are facing a big burden of many diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, Kala Azar, HIV, diarrhea, dysentery, and many more. If India needs health security, as per the global ranking, as per the Global Nutrition Report 2018, we have one-third globally stunted population. And as per the Global Hunger Index 2019, India is positioned 1 or 2 out of 117 countries. Almost 59% of the Indian women are highly anemic and severely stunting is observed in growing children. There is a need for improving the nutrient quality of staple diets. So, India needs to achieve both health and nutritional security. Apart from it, quality education at primary level needs to be provided using multimedia and animation. We have to sensitize our school children so that they'll be able to solve science problems, economic problems, or social problems through the use of science and technology. Science and technology not only is essential for economic development, but it's also helpful in overcoming the many challenges like poverty, unemployment, drought, climate change, remoteness, superstitions, pollution, degradation of water quality, water unavailability, and many other pandemics. Okay, let's go to the next topic. How science and technology help build India as a nation, or let's see, or they can ask as contribution of science and technology in building India. Adoption of science and technology immediately after independence made India to achieve great strides in various areas of development. The development of the nation is based on resources. We discussed this earlier as well. Resources, capital, and technology. Without technology, the available capital cannot be judiciously used for making maximum use of the resources. Indeed, science and technology is very crucial in national building than any other type of resource. Green Revolution made India to increase food grain production by 5.4 times from 1951 to 2017. How many times? 5.4 times from 1951 to 2017. This was mainly due to the development of high-yielding hybrid varieties. The Indian Space Research Organization successfully transformed India into a telecommunications giant with continuous expansion of INSAT satellites. The INSAT satellites took tele-education, telemedicine, skill development, meteorological services to even to the remotest parts of the country. Similarly, Earth observation was made possible by IRS satellites. India even achieved the development of indigenous satellite-based navigation, NAVIC or IRNSS, which gradually helps us to completely move away from using foreign satellites for navigation. India became the first country in the world to launch more than 100 satellites, that is 1 on 4, by a single rocket, PSLV C-37, on February 15, 2017. Technological progress can only help us to achieve energy security. Energy is considered as the backbone of the economy of any nation and has greater role in nation building. The gradual shift from conventional to renewable energy sources, especially solar, wind and many other new energies, can help India not only achieve energy security, but at the same time also will be able to increase per capita energy consumption as per demand. India has already achieved 30 gigawatts of solar energy. This will transform India into a new nation with rapid rise in productivity in agriculture as well as manufacturing sectors as well. India's largest thorium reserves will enable us to achieve high energy security on a sustainable basis. The Integrated Guided Missile Development Program was started in 1983, helped in developing both strategic and tactical missiles like Agni, Prithvi, Akash, Trishul, Nag, later BrahMos, Dhanush, Sagarika, etc. Further development of intercontinental ballistic Agni missile as well as success achieved in progress of development of two-tier ballistic missiles defense system has strengthened India's defense. India is also addressing climate change by launching National Action Plan on Climate Change, that is NAPCC. This is aimed at developing technological interventions to achieve sustainability in agriculture, sustainability in ecosystems, habitats, and increase energy efficiency, water use efficiency, and also the tree cover. Accordingly, 8 missions were launched under it. 4 missions were planned in the areas of coastal management, wind energy, waste to energy, health issues emanating from climate change. The biotechnological progress helped India to expand the use of vaccines across the country. India was declared polio free in the year. You type in the comments the year when India was declared polio free. This was by who? When was it declared by India as polio free by the World Health Organization? This was mainly due to the intense campaign through Pulse Polio Immunization Program. You can see great film actors coming together and giving their voices for this program. India has become a hub of medical tourism as the country achieved progress in areas to improve diagnostics, state-of-art medical technologies, minimally invasive surgeries, and even robotic surgeries. India is also rapidly moving towards achieving global leadership in the areas of data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, along with bionics, gene editing, regenerative medicine, supercomputing, terraforming, biosimilars, nanotechnology, bioinformatics, etc. Which will definitely, all these developments will help in India to become a holistic nation. So let's recap. Look at the contributions of science and technology in national building or nation building. Green Revolution. Yes, food grain production increased by 5.4 times from 1951 to 2017. ISRO has launched many satellites like IRNS, INSAT. INSAT satellites took tele-education to the remote parts of the country, and Earth observation through IRS satellites, and we will have our own GPS through NAVIC. India has launched multiple satellites together, that is 104 via PSLV C-37 on February 2017. India is focusing on solar, wind, and many other new energies. India has currently produced 30 gigawatts of solar energy. India has largest thorium reserves, which will help us achieve energy security on a sustainable basis. Under India's Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, which was started in 1983, we have developed both strategic and tactical missiles like Agni, Prithvi, Akash, Trishul, and later BrahMos, Dhanush, Sagarika, which strengthened our India's defense. Next, coming to climate change, we have launched National Action Plan on Climate Change. This aimed at developing technological interventions to achieve sustainability in agriculture, ecosystems, habitats, and increase energy efficiency, water use efficiency, and also tree cover. Accordingly, 8 missions were launched. 4 missions were planned, of which 4 were planned in coastal management, wind energy, waste to energy, health issues emanating from climate change. Apart from that, in biotechnology, we have developed vaccines. India has declared polio-free on March 27, 2014 by WHO. And we have improved our diagnostics, state-of-art medical technologies, minimally invasive surgeries, and even robotic arms. So India is also achieving global leadership in data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence as well. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Programs implemented by the Government of India that use science and technology for socio-economic development of the country. Okay, recognizing the importance of science and technology in promoting socio-economic and rural growth of the country, Government of India has already brought into implementation various programs. Special emphasis was given on improving the skill development, traditional knowledge, and technologies used by women. Many programs are designed for providing science and technology applications to weaker sections of the society. Rural technology parks were established in various parts of northeastern India. Many of these programs were designed based on the resources available at village level. According to the central and state governments were keen on expanding aquaculture, sustainable agriculture, solar energy, bioenergy projects across the country. Women technology parks were brought into implementation. The Government of India is giving away national awards to those implementing projects that benefit women. New programs of waste recycling benefiting rag pickers in urban areas are under implementation. DST, that is Department of Science and Technology, successfully designed fishing devices that help native tribes in Andaman for successful fishing. The National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board (NSTEDB) was established for developing entrepreneurial skills among Indian science and engineering graduates. Such an intervention helps in developing employability skills among Indian graduates. A total of 371 entrepreneurship development programs and 60 technology-based entrepreneurship development programs were developed by this board. This resulted in setting up of 542 units by the benefactors across the country. The Government of India is implementing technical human resource development skill upgradation program with the support from UN through UNDP for imparting skill development through vocational training. The government of India is also promoting more than 700 units with turnover of about 90 crores. Remember, 700 units. Government of India is promoting 700 units with a turnover of 90 crores through steps. What is step? Science Technology Entrepreneur Spark program. More than 5,000, but provided livelihood under STP. This unit could develop more than 100 type of new technologies. More than 6,000 people were provided training in skill development under this STEP program. Delhi government advocated that state governments to strengthen the science and technology systems at state level through state councils. Boarding by central government in providing necessary help for expanding science and technology research at state level. The National Council of Science, Technology, Communication is implementing various programs with the objective of providing awareness among general public with reference to new standards or new trends in science and technology. This council successfully broadcasted a television serial called Kudrat Nama. If possible, watch it. Kudrat Nama by National Council of Science and Technology Communication. Children's Science Congress were being conducted at the national level. Implementation of many such above programs help in promoting scientific inquiry among the general public, politicians, rural population, and students. Programs aimed at skill development and which increase the productivity at society level are being implemented. Expansion of scientific inquiry develops rationality leading to integrated socio-economic development. Increased avenues of employment at grassroots level leads to progress of the country. Let's recap what we have seen. What were the programs? Apart from this, there are many other programs which were being implemented by the government of India. During the time of your examination, go to Department of Science and Technology website and make a keyword nurture of it if possible. So let's discuss. Government has mainly focused on rural technology. It has established rural technology parks in Northeast India. Accordingly, central and state governments were keen on expanding aquaculture, sustainable agriculture, solar energy and bioenergy projects across the country. Women technology parks were brought into implementation and national awards were being given to those implementing projects that benefit women. Recycling benefiting rag pickers in urban areas are under implementation. DST has designed fishing devices to help native tribes in Andaman. National Science Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board established for providing entrepreneurial skills to engineering graduates. A total of 371 entrepreneurship development programs and 60 technology-based entrepreneurship development programs were developed by this board. And Government of India is imparting skill through vocational training as well. In collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme. Government is also promoting more than 700 units with a turnover of 90 crores through STEP, that is Science, Technology and Entrepreneur Spark program. Delhi government has proposed state councils for scientific development so that research can be taken at state level. National Council of Science and Technology Communication has started a television serial Kudrat Nama for this purpose. Children's Science Congress was also conducted at national level. Apart from this, there are Indian Science Congress which is being conducted annually. There are many other programs. Okay, this concludes our topic. Let's recap the entire discussion. So we have started with challenges in proliferation of science and technology in India. So in India could not achieve strides because the spending was very less. We are just spending 1.5% of the world total spending on research and development. Our share is only 2% coming to scientific publications internationally. Lack of scientific temper among majority of Indians. Lack of inculcation of scientific abilities at a primary education level. Brain drain, which is a major challenge for us. And India is spending just 1% of GDP on scientific research, which needs to be improved to 3% at least in the coming next 10 years. Emphasize more on Made in India and Make in India, and changing the way we teach, imparting scientific education. Next, we have seen role of human resources development in development of science and technology in the country. The number of scientists and technologies, even though it are high in numbers in absolute terms, but are not found in accordance with the requirements of the day. So there is a need for rate of generation of high quality or highly skilled human resources by initiating new and innovative schemes to attract and nurturing talent with an aptitude for research and offering them assured careers. The department, Science and Technology Department, should be provided with substantial funding to build up the human resource base in relevant areas. Schemes for continuing education and training of universities and college teachers in contemporary research techniques and emerging areas of science will be strengthened. And next, we have seen strategies to be adopted for development, transfer, and diffusion of technology in our country. Strong base of science and engineering research provides a crucial foundation for a vibrant program of technology development. Countries should be made globally competitive and economically strong, and also address security concerns of the nation. Indian exports today derive their competitive advantage through resource and labor rather than the power of technological innovation. Special emphasis should be laid on R&D, technological factors of innovation, but not only that, but also on social, institutional, market factors which are needed for diffusion and transfer of innovation. Intensive efforts were to be launched to develop innovative technologies. Aggressive international benchmarking has to be carried out. Increase our share of high-tech products has to be done. Next, we have seen the need for science and technology in nation building. As we know that every civilization in history is dependent of mankind, is dependent on science and technology for its growth. It has both advantages and disadvantages. In India, we have seen many visionaries who have helped the nation grow, like Nehru, Swaminathan, Homi Bhabha, Kalam, Vikram Sarabhai, and many others. India is riddled with many problems, such as 19 states in India have suffered from fluorosis and burdened with many diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, Kala Azar, diarrhea, dysentery, HIV. Global Nutrition Nutrition Report 2018 says 1/3 of our population is stunted. And then Global Hunger Index 2019 positions India as 102 out of 117 countries. Almost 59% of Indian women are highly anemic. We can see severe stunting in growing children. Quality of food is very low. We need to focus on health and nutritional security. Quality of education at primary school level using multimedia and animation should be emphasized. We have to sensitize school children and students at universities and colleges on diverse problems that India is facing, which will help them realize how they could or should contribute to the development of Indian science technology. Science and technology are very essential factors not only for economic progress, but at the same time for overcoming many challenges like poverty, unemployment, drought, climate change, impacts, remoteness, superstitions, pollution, degrading water quality, water unavailability, pandemics, etc. Okay, now let's look at how science and technology contributed for building of the nation. Yeah, Green Revolution, we have discussed about Green Revolution, which increased the food grain production by 5.4 times from 1951 to 2017. ISRO has launched INSAT satellites and IRNSS satellites. INSAT, which we have used for telemedicine, skill development, and meteorological services. IRNS is for navigation. We have launched hundreds of satellites through a single rocket, PSLV C-37. We are focusing on solar, wind, and many other renewable energies. India has produced 30 gigawatts of solar energy. In defense, we have, through integrated guided missile development program, we developed both strategic and tactical missiles like Agni, Prithvi, Akash, Trishul, Nag, BrahMos, Dhanush, Sagarika. Coming to climate change, India has launched National Action Plan on Climate Change, that is NAPCC, in which it focuses on 8 programs. It covers almost all: coastal management, wind energy, waste to energy, health issues emanating from climate change. Coming to biotechnology, India has developed many vaccines. India has declared polio free by World Health Organization in 2014. Apart from that, we have improved in diagnostics, state-of-art medical technologies, even robotic surgeries, bionics, gene editing, artificial intelligence, data analytics, etc. Okay. The next, we have seen programs implemented by Government of India that use science and technology for socio-economic development. So, Government of India mainly focused on rural technology parks, which were established in Northeast India, then women technology parks, and then national awards were being given to those implementing projects that benefit women. New programs of waste recycling. New fishing devices were developed by Department of Science and Technology. National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Program imparts entrepreneur skills to engineering graduates. 371 entrepreneurship development programs and 60 technological based entrepreneurship development programs were developed by this board. In collaboration, Government of India, in collaboration with United Nations Development Program, is imparting skill development through vocational training. National Council of Science and Technology Communication has broadcast a television series, Kudrat Nama. Children's Science Congress were being conducted at national level. Yeah. Nice. We'll conclude our class today. Thank you for listening.